What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the spot where we kick back and react to all kind of different things. Alright, so what we got going on today? We're about to check out SHOGO. Let's ask SHOGO, or for me, SHOGO Sensei, since I do be watching his katana stuff and practicing from the lessons that he shows. Yes, let's ask SHOGO. He is back. He has dropped a new one. So this one is more of a culture style video that he has. The title of it, Must Watch Before Dating Japanese. So this is for everyone who wants a Japanese boyfriend or girlfriend who is not Japanese and currently not living in Japan. This is for you. This is for you. It's not me, I'm already married, but this is for you. Steps to try to find yourselves a Japanese significant other. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into this. SHOGO always has such great information to give, so I can't wait to see what he has to say about this. Probably gonna be some funny points on here. The differences in culture is just so fascinating to me. Let's go ahead and get into this. Let's go.
In conclusion, kokuhaku is a way to express that you are serious about the relationship. You might be thinking, couldn't you just understand that from the atmosphere or your feelings? This, from my point of view, is a result of the
everyone else not wanting to just be direct. That's pretty much what it is. I feel like most of dating society is backwards because we've built a society to where we believe that pursuing what we consider to be one of the most important things, the person you're going to spend the rest of your life with. You're searching for that person, and we're gonna do it in the most obscure and complicated way possible. I swear that's how it feels sometimes. Instead of just being direct with people, and when you be direct, it puts so many people off because they love the game and the mystery. It's so crazy. It's like a lot of people don't realize they're getting in their own way when they're trying to find that person they want to be with.
皆さんこんにちは and welcome to Let's Ask Shogo. One of the strange cultures in Japan is kokuhaku, isn't it? When watching animated movies, there are often scenes of confessions, where a person tells another person that they like them and wants to date them. Many viewers have asked me how it actually works. As a Japanese
now that's one thing that I found interesting, because for me personally, I didn't think nothing of it when I saw that happen in anime. I didn't think anything of it at all, and the reason is because I thought it was just like movies. You know, if you ever seen almost any rom-com, and it's like, don't be embarrassed about seeing them. Some of them are funny, okay, but they always have a confession scene in it. So when it came down to anime, I just thought they were doing the same thing. I didn't know it was actually because of Japanese culture. I learned that later on, you know. It's not like I'm just now learning, but I did learn it later on from when I originally first started seeing it happen in anime and everything. So that's why I never really asked the question, like, how do Japanese people really go about this? Because for me, I just thought it was just more movie magic. That's the truth about it.
Japanese person, I've always taken this custom for granted. So I wanted to use this opportunity to analyze it. So today, I will explain the 3 reasons why kokuhaku is important in Japanese culture. The reasons will get more and more important towards the end, so I hope you can check out all 3. And as you know, in my videos, I try to explore everything from a cultural and historical perspective. So I'm sure there'll be interesting discoveries in this video that other people rarely talk about. Keep in mind, however, that this is an opinion from a 20-year-old Generation Y person, as cultures vary greatly from generation to generation. I've heard that other countries have kokuhaku culture too, so please let me know in the comments what it's like in your country. In this channel, you can take a closer look at Japanese traditional culture, tips on travel to Kyoto, and social problems in Japan. So learners and lovers of Japanese language and culture, be sure to subscribe to enjoy more content. それでは本日は告白について分析してまいりましょう。
Alright.
1. Women want men to show their readiness. Many Japanese women want men to properly kokuhaku before going out with them. One romance magazine surveyed 500 people and found out that more than 90% of women said they would like to be confessed to. And data from a dating app showed that more than 70% of the 800 young people who are dating started a relationship after a confession. In conclusion, kokuhaku is a way to express that you are serious about the relationship. On the other hand, if the relationship—
Interesting. That's a high percentage number, being up in the 90s like that. So, American ladies, what are your thoughts on that? Do you want the mystery, or would you rather right in the beginning you get a confession and it's like, let's go out? And even not just American ladies, I got my South African audience out there. Any of y'all who crossed by this one, I want to hear from you guys too. Would you rather be confessed to right out the gate and then have everything laid out there? Or do you want the mystery and the game and the chase and all that stuff? Let me know. Let me know in the comments.
Relationship continues without a confession. Many people seem to feel anxious, thinking, is this just a physical relationship or am I just for fun? You might be thinking, couldn't you just understand that from the atmosphere or your feelings?
Just from atmosphere? No, because we struggle from that over here too. You be with somebody, you're not sure why they're with you, and it's like, sometimes we just call it overthinking, like, okay, they're just with me, just not overthink it. But it's hard not to, and I think that's where the one of the biggest benefits of this entire system is. It's less guesswork. And that's what I like. Less guesswork, you know? Let me know what I'm getting into and what this is all about and what you want out of this too.
From my point of view, is a result of the collectivist social trait of the Japanese people, which I've explained many times in my past videos. Unlike individualistic societies, which build trust among people through communication between individuals, collectivist societies do it through the structure or system of that society. In other words, it is a relationship of trust that says, you and I will both follow the rules of this society, so we can trust each other without talking. In a collectivist society, people avoid individual communication as much as possible because they don't want to stand out and become a nuisance to the group. Specifically, in the case of Japan, this was especially necessary to unite to overcome emergencies caused by the many natural disasters and to adapt to the social system that was built during the Edo period. This is why Japanese people take manners and rules very seriously. It's how we communicate in collectivism. In other words, one of the characteristics of Japanese people is that they're not good at communicating with other individuals and have a hard time trusting others on their senses. This is why they can't be reassured unless their partners say directly, I am serious about our relationship. Anyone watching this video who wants to date a Japanese person may want to confess their feelings at an early timing if they want to be with that person more.
All right, so you heard him. Because of how society is, it's the reverse of here. It's the reverse of here, you know? Everybody talks to each other here. So, yeah, when you're with your spouse, you guys may not want to talk so much. You're tired from talking all the time. Just lay up with each other and just vibe. It's the exact opposite. Nobody's talking to each other. Collectivism. You don't want to be having this random mini private conversations in public and having people look at you like, what are they over here being so secretive about? I get it. Difference in cultures. So it's the reverse. If you do end up with someone Japanese, just remember that for their sake, for their reassurance, tell them directly what you're feeling. So that they probably stress out more dealing with guesswork. And yeah, guesswork is stressful for people who know that it's coming. So for those who are not used to it, I can only imagine.
2. The existence of the purity ideology. Then, let's go even deeper into Japanese history and culture. I mentioned the Edo period earlier too, but since that era,
You mentioned the Edo period in every video, but I get it.
Ie system has been important. The Edo shogunate, the samurai government, defined that the smallest unit in society is not individuals, but groups of families and businesses. This means that if someone in the group causes a problem, it will be everyone's responsibility. This was the government's plan to force people to keep each other under surveillance and restrict others' actions so they won't do anything strange. This is why almost all marriages in Japan are arranged. Historically, it is very recent that free love had become the majority. Love was not something that individuals had the right to decide, but it was something the whole Ie group was involved in. Because in case a child was born between a couple who were not arranged, it would be a great embarrassment to both families. Even until my parents' generation, living together before marriage was considered a big no-no. Purity education has been long practiced in Japan to teach young people that sexual relationships are something that should be avoided as much as possible. And even today, the delay in sex education is still a problem. There are remnants of such.
And yeah, it's like I get wanting to teach people to go about things the right way, because at the end of the day, let's just be honest, how many of us really waited, until marriage before doing anything? But then when you go back and look, most of us probably wouldn't do it any different. Let's just be honest. But structurally, it makes more sense to wait. That's just, that structurally, it's just not in us to want to wait. But what happens when the message is successful? The message is successful and you have a combination of staying pure and waiting until you get married on top of being in business and everything and in industry and working your butt off your entire life and everything else. All of this is contributing to Japan's low birth rates that's happening right now. So yeah, there's that.
Strict ideas about the relationship between men and women, and confession exists as the minimum discipline to overcome them. It means that a person who is not ready for a formal relationship must not deprive the other person of his or her purity.
So basically, if you ain't trying to get married, don't. They teach you not to mess with people's heads. I like that part at least. Don't mess with people's heads. Don't use somebody and throw them away. Pretty sure it still happens. It happens everywhere. It's like you can't stop it from happening completely. But at least the fact that they're actively teaching their culture means that it reduces the amount of times that something like that happens, which is a good thing.
3. The desire to clarify their position. The third reason is like a combination of the first two. But the Japanese are people who always want to clarify their position in society. This is not only because the relationship must be clear within a collectivist society to make the system work, but also due to the very strict hierarchical relationship built due to the teachings of Confucianism. And of course, the one who applied Confucianism to Japan was the shogunate, the samurai government during the Edo period. This is how Bushido, the aesthetics of always obeying superiors and dedicating their lives to them, was born. Japan today, of course, is not ruled by any samurai anymore, but it is still a society that's very difficult to communicate if your position is not clarified. For example, when two Japanese communicate, using or not using keigo, the polite language, is a big difference. This is the deeper reason why Japanese people can't quit using business cards. Because people's attitudes will greatly change depending on where that person is in the company. They want to exchange name cards as soon as possible to talk more comfortably. This is exactly the same with love. If you are dating, your age will...
Sorry, I just had to laugh at that one. Exactly the same with love. So you basically got to treat your relationships in Japan like your job. Oh man, that just made me laugh. That was just too funny. Whatever means you're using to chase your career, that's what you have to chase your spouse with.
matter and the couple will be in the same position. But to really trust that, you need some kind of proof. In other words, many Japanese cannot fully trust someone unless they are in a formal relationship. Then lastly, today's conclusion. I explained the 3 reasons why Japan has the culture of kokuhaku before dating. 1. Women want men to show their readiness. Kokuhaku is a way to express that you're serious about the relationship, and many Japanese women want men to properly confess before going out with them. Japanese people are...
And I think that works the other way around too. Like, you know, if you're a dude who really does want a solid relationship with somebody, then you want to... I think that, yeah, you would want to hear from them too. Like, yeah, I'm really in this and everything. So I think that goes both ways. I see that. I understand the polls in Japan, how more women want it, you know, statistically. But I think at the end of the day, anybody who is looking for that type of relationship wants that clarification and that confession as quickly as possible from whoever it is that they're really looking
properly confess before going out with them. Japanese people are relatively bad at individual communication, so they cannot be reassured unless their partners say that they're serious about the relationship directly. 2. The existence of a purity ideology. Since the Edo period, Japan has had an especially strong group ideology. So if an individual causes a problem, it will be the responsibility of the whole family or group. This is why purity education has long been practiced in Japan to prevent children to be born between unmarried couples. There are remnants of such strict ideas about the relationship between men and women, and confession exists as a minimum of discipline to overcome them. 3. The desire to clarify their position. Due to the very strict hierarchical relationship, Japanese people struggle to communicate without clarifying each other's position. Many Japanese cannot fully trust someone unless they're in a formal relationship. So that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching. If this video helped you to deepen your understanding towards the Kokuhaku culture in Japan, please hit the like button to help me boost this video to more people. And please check out all my other activities inside the description box. Thanks again, and I'll see you in my next video. 皆さんどうもありがとうございました。
All right.
Questions about Kokuhaku is definitely one of the questions I get the most, by the way. And I was thinking about myself, my own experience, when I started dating Harumi. You might have heard from all my previous live streams or videos and such, but Harumi and I actually started dating on the day we basically went out to have lunch together for the first time. Yeah, it was 3 days after we met for the first time, actually. Yeah, we met on a certain day at an event. Yeah, an event held in Beijing. And just 3 days afterwards, because I could speak English and she spoke perfect Chinese, we were like, let's be friends. We can, teach each other the languages we speak. And 3 days afterwards, we went to have lunch together. And even though we went to go lunch together, we went to a cafe afterwards for 6 hours, and went to karaoke for another 3 hours, and went to convenience store to grab more beer for another hour. And then she came over to my house, and then we were awake till like 3 or 4 a.m. in the morning. We were watching like 3 movies. And yeah, it was like, it's really, really obvious that you're going to be dating properly, right? Yeah. But still, I do remember that inside my room in my dorm, actually, I was looking at that place. I actually did do the Kokuhaku to Harumi too. Yeah. And that was the moment when Harumi was like super surprised. Yeah, she was freaking out, like, are we serious gonna be dating? Because we just met, we just met today basically, and because the first day we met, we just talked like a few times, and just for a couple of minutes, and that was it. So she was super freaking out. But again, yeah, it's something important, because if I did not do the confession, I'm pretty sure Harumi would have not been known when the relationship had actually started. So it was the same for me too. I've never ever even considered starting dating someone like, without a confession, like not just about myself, somebody else too. I mean, if they started dating, I would absolutely ask them who did the Kokuhaku first, yeah, who did it to who, kind of thing. So I guess in most cultures that would be only when you're going to ask someone to marry you, maybe. Yeah. But anyways, please let me know in the comments about your culture too. Thank you so much for watching this video.
Yep, and let me know too. Let me know when you see this. Let me know if you've ever done a confession like that before, a Kokuhaku. And then let me know, for those of you who haven't had it, would you like for that to happen? Would you like someone to be very straightforward with you and be like, hey, I really want to date you? Are you, I really want to have a relationship with you, not just date, but I want to have a relationship with you, and just lay out what they want right at the door. I want this, I want this, I want this. Let's do it. Like a lot of people use it as a joke, over here in the States. I even see like on sitcoms, the people who are extremely direct with each other is like the joke of whatever episode and everything. So it's really into our culture to not be so formal and upfront sometimes. And so that's what I like to know. How many of you would like it to be that way? How many of you would want somebody to just come up and say, this is what I want, this is my plan, if it works out, we're together for the rest of our lives? What do you say? I mean, I don't know. I like the straightforward approach myself. So just let me know. Anyway, y'all know what to do. Go down in the comment section. Let me know what y'all thought about this episode. And let me know what you'd like to see me react to next. Hit that like button before you go. Share this video with everyone you know. And subscribe if you haven't done so already. Alright, so till next time, take care of yourselves. And I'm out of here.